Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to the very first episode of Season 3 of the SWE Universe Mode. We are here live with our first episode of Mayhem, and we have a hell of a show set out for you this evening. We're going to be trying some pretty interesting stuff. And we are starting this Universe Mode off with a right doozy of a match here. We've got a Fatal 4-Way Extreme Rules Elimination match, and the winner of this one will go on to our first pay-per-view, which will be our Mayhem pay-per-view. That's going to be at the end of our first round of matches to face off against Stone Cold Steve Austin for the Mayhem Championship. So, of course, first off, we have Mankind, brand new into SWE this year. Wanted to use him, really. We made the change, didn't we, in the draft? We are going to allow different characters to be in the draft, in the universe. So, essentially that meant that last year we only had Cactus Jack. We just had the one Foley. This year we've got Cactus Jack on Carnage, we've got Mankind here on Mayhem, and we've got Dude Love over on Throwdown. So the three faces of Foley will all be live. And Mankind straight away being thrown into this really strong picture for him. So he's got an opportunity straight away in his debut in SWE to earn himself a shot at Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Mayhem Championship. Now we've got a cracking show for you tonight. I'm going to have to skip this. I do apologise, I forgot to change this. 1 second. There we go. Sorry, I can't show Shawn Michaels' entrance at the moment. I've had a couple of problems. I need to change the entrance. I keep forgetting. I'm going to write that down as a note. Basically, Shawn Michaels' entrance, because it's so realistic with the videos and so forth, it actually triggers the anti-copyright for WWE on YouTube. So I had the same problem during the draft. I had to contact WWE and get them to take the video off their copyright because it was showing as a clash with their footage from their library. Well, of course it's not. It's a part of the game, so it's not a big issue. So I need to change that so it doesn't come up in the future. Shawn Michaels had a decent time in the Universe Mode Season 2. Of course, he moved from Mayhem to Throwdown partway through and got a few opportunities, but nothing enough really to cement himself a place on the roster. I believe he was involved in the Elimination Chamber to finish that roster off, and it would have been really interesting to see if he could have won the belt there, but of course he wasn't able to, as it was CM Punk who was finally victorious there. The Undertaker, another man who was on Throwdown last year and didn't really do as well as we hoped he would. He had a few hits here and there, but nothing major. Nothing major, really. In Season 1, I believe he was over on Mayhem, and he had a few, again, chances here and there, but never really got himself off the ground. So this is a real chance here for Undertaker to finally put his foot in and finally start to boost himself up in the Universe Mode. There's a decent main event here on Mayhem, but I feel like these four guys are going to be a large chunk of it. But don't forget, we also have the likes of Goldberg, we've got Sting, we've got Bret Hart, we've got Randy Savage, of course. We've got Triple H, we've got Diesel, we've got Razor Ramon, we've got the Great Muta, we've got Finn Balor. So we really do have a very, very strong main event picture. And here's another man added to that main event picture. It is The Rock, a man who was on Octane last year. Did have an opportunity at the belt a couple of times. Again, just didn't really take his opportunities. And again, this could be a fantastic chance for him to do so. So, of course, we are keeping all the same ranking points, but momentum has been completely refreshed. So as some guys on 2K17 Season 2 version of the Universe Mode were looking very, very strong and looking unbeatable. That's completely been wiped clean now. Everyone's on a clean slate when it comes to momentum. So there's a real chance for somebody to really turn themselves around. And talking of that, we do a match later on this evening as Goldberg, one of the lowest rated on Mayhem, takes on Roman Reigns, one of the highest rated on Mayhem. That's going to be a big match. And that's a match that Goldberg needs to win desperately. Like I said, a chance for a fresh start here. Roman Reigns on, I think it's on 200 points because he's the former Throwdown champion. Now, I have changed the rankings ever so slightly this year. I've added a new bit in there where, well, basically, main events now are double points, which there were double points gained, but now they're double points lost as well. So if you lose the main event, you lose double points. That's a big one. But also, if you lose a championship, you lose 50 ranking points straight off the bat. And that's just to stop people becoming too far ahead, because the likes of Reigns, yeah, he did pretty well. He won the Throwdown Championship. He did very well, but at the same time, he just he's going to have to lose a lot of matches to bring him back down to a level where the rest of... Well, probably where he should be logistically, really. As Taker sending Mankind straight to the outside. So remember, this is a fatal 4-way elimination match. No DQ, no countouts, but pinfalls and submissions must take place inside the ring, which is currently where The Rock and Shawn Michaels are clashing. So interesting little breakup here. Got some really good matches for you this evening, actually. And bear in mind that this year, Mayhem is going to be the brand that has one show before its first pay-per-view. So we're going to crown all of our #1 contenders here this evening. We have got for you the tag team #1 contendership coming up after this one with 2 brand new teams into SWE pitting it off against each other. That is going to be Harlem Heat taking on the Acolytes. We've also got Sting taking on Randy Savage. We've got Asuka versus AJ Lee versus Ember Moon for the women's #1 contendership. Like I said, Roman Reigns versus Goldberg, 1-on-1. We're going to see Chris Jericho taking on Owen Hart. Now, that's an interesting one. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on. And then our main event here this evening is going to be a 6-man tag match. We're going to give it a go. Oh, Mankind is lobbing a ladder on the outside onto the top of the Undertaker. Yeah, we're going to give 6-man tag a go. I think it works better this year than it did on 2K17, but I don't think it's still perfect. But we'll find out what happens. And that is going to be the team of Razor Ramon, Diesel, and Triple H, of course, the Click, taking on Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and... Oh, I've forgotten his bloody name. Oh, I've forgotten his name. Tully Blanchard. So 3 parts of the 4 Horsemen. Now, I will just ask as well, we are quite early in this universe mode, so if you see anything that's not quite right, then do let me know. I can get it fixed. Of course, some of the cores are not 100% perfect, but we'll replace them with better versions as we move forward. So, yeah. It's not bad, bearing in mind, the game's only been out a week or so. Some of the cores we've got are actually very impressive, but there are a few that you look at and you think to yourself, yeah. I have actually improved quite a few of the cores already. That's I've been working a long time on this. Hence why it's taken a week or so to get the first video uploaded, just because it has taken so long to create the arenas, rings, championships, get the rosters together, create all the teams, and get the universe ready. And I was going to upload it a few days ago, but it just didn't seem right. I didn't think I was 100% ready, and the last thing I want to do is upload a universe mode that's not quite right. Because we want to start off with how we mean to go on. We want SWE Season 3 to be bigger and better than Season 2, and this is the way we're going to do it. With incredible matches like this. This is the first match in SWE Season 3, a fatal 4-way elimination with 4 of the top stars from the Attitude Era. Mankind there fighting back from the Undertaker, getting into a running neckbreaker. Mankind bringing Taker back up into a bulldog as Shawn Michaels caught out The Rock there, who went up top to look for a dive. The Rock's not normally a diver, and that's probably shown quite evident there, I suppose. Michaels there superplexes. Mankind in firm control of the Undertaker here. Oh, Shawn Michaels not allowing Mankind. Mankind looked like it was lining Taker up there, and Shawn Michaels just not allowing him to get that opportunity as Michaels now pile driver on the Undertaker. Shawn Michaels looking desperate here to get that opportunity at the pay-per-view against Stone Cold Steve Austin for the Mayhem Championship. Heads up top. Big diving elbow drop. Harnessing the spirit there of the Macho Man Randy Savage, and now looking for a figure 4 leg lock. Interesting. Is that a... Oh, The Rock broke it up. That's interesting as well, because it is an elimination match. Is that a part of a message there being sent to the main eventers? Of course, it is going to be the other 3 members of the Clique taking on the 4 Horsemen. And you have Shawn Michaels locking in the lead of the 4 Horsemen, Ric Flair's finisher maneuver. Yeah, not quite sure why The Rock felt necessary to break that submission hold when it is, like I said, an elimination match. Surely it's better for The Rock to allow The Undertaker to take that damage. And if Taker taps, then it's great. Someone's been eliminated. If Taker doesn't tap, then the damage has been done. As The Rock here removing the elbow pad as Mankind hits the double arm DDT on Shawn Michaels. We could have a Rock and Sock final 2 here. There's the pin. 1, 2, 3. There goes Michaels. Mankind eliminating Shawn Michaels from this match, and that's a big surprise for me. Also, another big surprise is The Rock did not go for the pin on The Undertaker after hitting the People's Elbow. So no announce table in these arenas this year. The announce tables are going to be further up the ramp, and I think that just saves us from any unnecessary clutter around the ring. and also hopefully saving us from getting caught on anything that could cause a double count-out this year, because that was a big problem last year for me. Double count-outs, my word, it was a pain in the backside last year. I do like elimination matches. Well, I feel like elimination matches really weeds it out, and you don't end up with a dodgy winner in elimination matches, because you know that the winner is someone who has got past 3 other people and really does deserve the victory. The Rock sending Mankind back in the ring. Rolls Mankind over, and there's a weird sort of, I don't know if you can see that, a weird sort of texture on the ring. It looks almost like a fingerprint. I don't know where that's come from. Rock now taking Mankind up on the shoulders. There's the big Samoan drop. And Taker decides to roll out the way. I think Taker was deciding that he was going to stay out of the way of the Rock and allow him to finish off Mankind. But Undertaker now with a kendo stick. Oh, the Rock steals a kendo stick away and just catches the Undertaker right across the gut and across the spine as well. As Taker fighting back. Oh, Rock sending Taker right into the ring steps. Now, the ring steps are detachable this year. They weren't last year, were they? I'm not quite sure how you detach them. I don't know if you just take them off or what, but I've seen images on some of the trailers of people powerbombing their opponents onto the ring steps. And see the Undertaker and Mankind there just taking it in turns to throw the Rock against the ring steps. And, oh, Mandible Claw. Nice, but it is on the outside, so it's not going to be able to count as a submission. Would the Undertaker have tapped out here? Doesn't look like the Undertaker is going to tap out anyway, but he is down and out. But Mankind needs to get him back in the ring if he's going to try and pin him. So Taker now has taken a People's Elbow and a Mandible Claw in this match, as the Rock there blatantly just punched Mankind in the knackers. No two ways about it, he just punched him in the knackers. And they are getting caught up with that ring steps, and you need to drag... See, this is what got me on 2K17. You need to drag your opponent around the steps. It doesn't work just throwing them directly at the ring, because if you do it again here, again you're just going to throw him into the steps. Now it's big spinebuster this time, which of course is normally the lineup for the People's Elbow. With no ropes, you can't really hit a People's Elbow. And again, into the ring steps. I thought they would have fixed this year, because this is still a problem for me. It's the AI just not understanding that you can't just throw someone directly at the ring, because there's only certain entry points into the ring. Rock is lined up the Undertaker once again. Taker's taken a lot of crap so far in this match, and now he's going to take a rock bottom as well. I can't see Taker winning this one. If he does, it's going to be a mini miracle, really, isn't it? Again, off the ring steps, but this time, the Rock is... Come on, Mankind. You know how to walk past people. It's not that difficult. So the Rock is in a decent position now where Mankind could... No, Mankind's not going to. He's going to go off the Undertaker again. Come on. Come on, AI. You can't be that dodgy. Surely they fixed it this year. Okay. At least we got away from that corner a bit now. We are in a different corner, like, but still. The Undertaker deciding that it's best off him going after the Rock. I think he feels like the Rock might be a bit more of a difficult target, so going after him while he's down is a better position. Big backdrop on the outside. The damage has been done. You should imagine whenever these guys get back in the ring that they're not going to have a lot left in the locker. Mankind's back up on his feet now as well, and straight into the ring steps again. Ring steps again. Ooh, I think Taker might have caught his head there on the ring steps, you know. Rock now spinning Taker around into a neck breaker. Thing is, you can tell they all want to get back in the ring. This could be a better position. There we go. They're in a good position. Here we go. Right back in the ring now. Mankind catching the Rock, who then catches Mankind with a jawbreaker. Russian leg sweep there by the Rock on Mankind, and Undertaker just catching the Rock. Oh, Rock. Oh no, he went dead weight there, but Taker managed to lift him up the second time. And can Undertaker pull this one off? He's taken so much damage in this match. There's the running lariat. But Taker getting tripped over there by the Rock. Rock going in for the pin. Taker's taking a lot of damage so far. But Taker does kick out after the 2. And Mankind just kicks the referee in the back, as you do. The Rock refusing to acknowledge Mankind behind him. Mankind keeps giving him a little nudge every now and again. Like, I'm here, member. I'm member. Nice clothesline to the back there by Mankind on the Rock. Now Mankind just staring down Taker, willing him towards him. And Mankind catched him there with a couple of jabs into a big bulldog. And does Mankind have enough to finish Taker off? Ooh, I thought he was going to go for a mandible claw there, but no, sending Taker into the turnbuckle. Taker fighting back. Now taking Mankind up on his shoulders. We've seen this before. The tombstone pile driver, Mankind down. Here's the out. 1, 2, and 3. Mankind is eliminated. It's between The Rock and The Undertaker. The winner of this one will go on to face off against Stone Cold Steve Austin for the Mayhem Championship in just a week's time. Could be our first major championship change in SWE, that one could. Taker, big solid right hand, almost knocking The Rock unconscious. Is it enough to knock him unconscious? No, it's only here for a 2. Stamping on the back of the head of The Rock now as well. Does Taker have enough left in the locker for another tombstone? Or will The Rock be able to catch him? Oh, Rock just tripping. Taker over. Gonna roll him through into that sharpshooter. Is Taker gonna have to tap out? He's taken a lot of damage so far, and he does have to tap out. And The Rock is victorious. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see for you The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin as the main event for our first pay-per-view. Could you have asked for any better? I ask you, could you have asked for any better? There was the elimination there of Shawn Michaels, the double arm DDT. This is the big spine bust by The Rock on the outside, doing the damage to Mankind early, and there again, that rock bottom on the outside might not have seemed as much at the time, but the damage it does to your back would make sure that as the match goes on, you would have to kick out of a sharpshooter. So there we go. The Rock is victorious in our opening match of SWE Season 3. Fatal 4-way elimination Extreme Rules, a new match type as well, which I feel like we will use again quite a few times because I do like that, especially in the Attitude Era. That Fatal 4-way elimination chamber. Fatal 4-way elimination match is a very good way forward. So I'm happy. I'm really happy. And The Rock winning that match. I think what we probably should do is, even though this is the opening match of the evening, technically for me this is a main event, so I might offer double points to The Rock on this one. I'll have to speak to PJ Toby about that one. What we got? Wow, we get a match rating now. Okay, I knew you got this for singles, but I didn't realise you got it for... I didn't realise you got this for AI versus AI. I'm going to keep track of that, you know. So 3.5 stars, okay. Total match score 6,300. Back and forth, signature touch, memorable moments, no heightened drama, and some good move variety. Oh, nice, I like that. That's a nice little new mechanic, that is. I do like that. And here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be our tag team #1 contendership match as Harlem Heat takes on the Acolytes. Let's go. We're ready to go. Straight off the bat. Now, the winner of this one will go on to face off against the Legion of Doom at our first pay-per-view then for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships. 2 brand new teams into the Universe Mode. Of course, Booker T and JBL were both part of Season 2 of the Universe Mode anyway. But Stevie Ray and Farouk making their debuts. And it's good because it helps us form 2 pretty cool tag teams. And to be honest, I don't know what I would do, or PJ Toby would do, with Booker T if it wasn't for this tag team, because he's okay. I don't think he's of a main event level. I was never a massive Booker T fan, to be brutally honest. So I don't know what we would do. I don't think he fits into that Michaels, Undertaker, Rock, Austin, Triple H, Mankind sort of picture. I don't think that's sort of level he's at, but there we go. And here then comes the Acolytes, Farouk and Bradshaw. Again, the cores aren't bad, but I don't think they're immense. But like I said, you can bear with us. We will keep developing these cores as we go forward. They're usable for now anyway. They're usable for now. We've got some pretty good ones actually as we move forward. You'll see in the main event the Tully Blanchard. It is Tully Blanchard. My mind keeps going blank. It is Tully Blanchard, isn't it? I'm going to check now, otherwise I'm going to look like an absolute boob if I keep using the wrong name. It is Tully Blanchard. I thought it was. It just doesn't sound right there for a second. Yeah, he's very, very good actually, and the Arn Anderson is pretty good as well. So we've got a pretty good set of calls in for the main event. I think Apart from that, we've only got AJ Lee and Owen Hart, the only other cores left for this evening. We've tried to stay more to the actual normal people in the game, I think, for now. Just to try everyone out. And then we've got a bit more time to try and get some better cores as it all moves forward. Because it does take... The best core makers take a good 3, 4, maybe 5, even a week on some of the better cores. As in comes Farouk then. The first ever African-American main event champion. I think it was WCW, wasn't he? Ron Simmons. Damn! I'm not very good at an impression of him, actually. I would like to be. My voice is not powerful enough, I don't think. So this is our first real look, well, my first real look at a tag team match as well, because we've done... I don't think we've done a proper tag team match yet in a random match. We've done an 8-man tag, but we haven't done a proper 2-on-2 tag. I know we did one in the draft, but of course I won't really pay much attention because I was doing the draft. So this would be a nice way to find out how well these matches work, because if tag team matches do work better this year, then we can potentially have a tag team tournament. If they're still really shaky and dodgy like they were on 2K17, then buckle in for a very difficult season once again. I hope to hell they work. They did a lot of work on tag team matches apparently this year. And they needed to. They really did need to. So I'm hoping that we're going to get some top quality wrestling out of this. Stevie Ray now looking for that neck breaker on Farouk, and Stevie Ray doing the classic tag team thing there. You see he's actually in between Farouk and his tag team partner. That is tag team 101. Split the ring off, stop your partner from getting the tag, because especially on this game as well, they have brought back hot tags and they are very effective. I quite like that actually. Farouk just launching Stevie Ray over the top and takes his opportunity to make the tag into his partner Bradshaw. But Stevie Ray now catching Bradshaw as well. Dragging him along the ring into the snapman. Again, just cutting that ring off. Standing in between Bradshaw and Farouk. Like I said, tag team 101 really. Stevie went for the right hand, but Bradshaw fighting back and into a big sidewalk slam. And now Bradshaw does have the better space as Booker T trying to tag in his brother Stevie Ray, but Bradshaw is very good at getting right in between them. Once again now, Bradshaw does take Stevie Ray down, and again just getting in between himself and his partner. Stevie fighting back, sending Bradshaw into the corner. Oh, it's interesting. I thought we were going to go for the tag team maneuver there, but it didn't quite pull off for some reason. But Stevie Ray's got something big planned here. Looks like he's going to go for a superplex. There it is. Bam. Bradshaw's not a small man. That is a big, big maneuver. Stevie Ray slamming the arm of Bradshaw into the mat now, bringing him back up to his feet. Nice. There's the big kick. Stevie Ray now stalking Bradshaw. We could have some good stuff here by Harlem Heat. They're looking very strong. Is that like a Pepsi plunge? It's almost like a pile driver pedigree. Only a 2 count. Bradshaw able to kick out. Luckily for him, he didn't take a lot of damage, did he? Of course, it was Farouk who took the majority of the damage, so when the finisher hit, he wasn't too out of it. But Stevie Ray in firm control here. Into the DDT now on Bradshaw as well. Stevie Ray, yeah, firm control. But Bradshaw getting a little bit back in. Dragging Stevie Ray away from his partner before bringing in Farouk. And now Farouk going to start trying to turn this match back around in the favour of the Acolytes. Because as we know, big things involved here. Like I said, a tag team championship match against the Legion of Doom is up for grabs, which 2 debuting teams would love to get a hold of. Big powerbomb there by Farouk on Stevie Ray. It's huge. Like a jackknife. Farouk now bringing Stevie Ray back up. Snake Eyes him on the corner. And again, getting in between Stevie Ray and his partner. I wonder if that's an actual mechanic on this game now. I know that's what they do in real life, but they seem to be doing it quite a lot in the game, and that's a lovely knee in the face. And this match has been very back and forth. Stevie Ray dominated for quite some time, then Farouk came in as a fresh man. And Farouk once again taking Stevie Ray up into another powerbomb. But Farouk's still not done. Lining up Stevie Ray once again. Another high impact move here. Could be enough to finish this one off. Another gut wrench. Oh, wow. Flattened him. There's the pin. One. Bradshaw. Oh, Bradshaw's just too slow. For some reason, Bradshaw dropped off the apron rather than just coming in the ring. He dropped off the apron and slid in. I don't quite understand why he did that, but there you go. That's a weird way of doing it. And if he hadn't done that, they probably would have been enough to pull it out of the bag, to be honest. So Stevie Ray now getting a bit of control back, though. That little bit of an interference by Booker T during the pin has just helped him out. Knee in the spine there by Stevie Ray. Now Stevie Ray bringing Farouk back up, but Farouk fighting back. Farouk sending Stevie Ray into the corner. Clubbing blow against the back. Farouk taking him up. Stevie Ray is a big man, and the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and he fell hard. But the quick tag is made. The hot tag. And I do like that new mechanic as well, actually, where Stevie Ray was really tired out when he went for the tag. And he's now down on the ground on the outside. He's not up on the apron. So he can't help when it comes to the pin. Just like this. Ooh, no, it's only a 2 count. And Bradshaw's pretty out of it as well, so he's not going to be much help. Booker T catching Farouk now. Front chancery. Takes him up into a suplex. So interesting already. We're up to 30 odd minutes in this video. Well, I'm up to 30 minutes. Probably a little bit less for you with the cutting the loading screens and everything out. But we are running 7 match cards to start things off, just to see how it goes. And as time moves on, we might switch back to 5 match cards, just to speed things up a little bit. There's the pin after the scissor kicks by Booker T, but Bradshaw's there straight away, and is able to break it up on the brink of 3. See, that was the problem in that situation, was that Stevie Ray was the man who was grounded. Oh, Stevie Ray comes straight across and clotheslines Farouk. Booker T, a nice little run around there in circles. And there's the hot tag, bringing in Bradshaw. Booker T's up on the apron. Oh, that hot tag was useless, wasn't it? So now Farouk's down the outside, so if Booker T can hit something big here on Bradshaw, he could win the match. It's a super bulldog. Booker T heads up top. And decides against it in the end. Russian leg sweep there on Bradshaw. Catch his neck against that bottom rope. Now can Harlem Heat take advantage while Farouk is down? Or is Farouk going to be able to get back up to his feet and back on the apron? See Farouk there just sat in the aisleway, just absolutely knackered out. There's that huge spine buster. That could be enough. There's the pin by Booker T. Farouk is down. 1, 2. Farouk's back up, but it's too late, and the Harlem Heat have won the match. I like that. It was a pretty decent match, actually. When it comes to tag team, it was a pretty decent match. It wasn't too bad. I'm not saying it's the best match I've ever seen, don't get me wrong, but it had a decent ending. The new mechanic where tired people spend a bit of time on the floor and are not able to defend their partners is quite nice. I like that. I do like this. Is the scissor kick earlier on Farouk. Of course, that is Booker T's finisher maneuver. But this was what wanted that spine buster. And it was almost not enough. Because Farouk had just about got up to his feet, but it was a second too late. And Harlem Heat were able to get the victory. And Booker T seems to be broken here. Seems like Stevie Ray's doing the celebration, but Booker T just, it's like Jesse and Festus, isn't it, all over again. Booker T just staring into space. Oh, hang on a minute, Booker T is up there because you can see the rope shaking. That's weird. Right, it's a 3-star match. Okay, we'll take that. Nice 3-star match here. So, on to the next one. And here's our next match of the evening. It's our first singles match of the evening and our first singles match of SWE. It's Sting versus Randy Savage. Now we've got Sting, who of course is the former television champion here on Mayhem in Season 2. And we have Randy Savage, who is the winner of the Mayhem Immunity Rumble, which gave him 50 ranking points. So both these guys are pretty well off when it comes to ranking points. I have the paperwork here. Sting is currently on 145 points. Randy Savage currently on 130. So both of them are definitely in that upper mid-card range. At the top end of the upper mid-card, pushing towards that main event picture. So, yeah, pretty impressive, both these guys. They both could pull off something impressive. I like Sting. I like this Sting. There's also, I liked Crazy Sting on TNA, was pretty cool as well. That sort of untapped Joker style sort of Crazy Sting was pretty nice. I like that. But this was my favourite. This was the Sting that I remember from my youth, and that's the reason why I think it's your favourite half the time, isn't it? You get that a lot of times, don't you? People have things that they really like, and it's only because they were at the height of popularity when you were at the right age. Hence why I'm a big Pokemon fan, because I was the right age for Pokemon. Whereas people that were older or people that are younger just don't get it. Well, they do with Pokemon Go. They're all at it, aren't they? But ooh, yeah. The Macho Man. Randy Savage. The Ranster. So like I said, he won the Draft Immunity Rumble, which means that he stayed on Mayhem. He's done pretty well out of it so far. He's got a chunk of ranking points and he's ready to go. A chunk of ranking points and the first singles match on SWE. What more could Savage have asked for? Of course, he's not being looked at for a championship as of yet, but we do have a cracking match for you at the pay-per-view for the television championship. But as I said earlier, we'll discuss that later on. But it is going to be very interesting. You're going to enjoy it. Do 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 do. It's strange they put Macho Man on the game, but they haven't put Miss Elizabeth on. You'd think they'd put her on as a manager, wouldn't you? I think she was a few years ago, but she's not at the moment. There we go, the bell goes and we are underway. Ooh, nice little jab there by Savage. This match, of course, did happen. Did it happen? Yeah, it must have happened. Well, it must have happened in WCW at some point. Maybe not quite at the height of both of their careers. I don't know. When was Sting at the height of his career? That's a question that I've asked PJ Toby before. There's different answers for that, isn't there, really? All of Sting's best matches arguably came in the late 80s, early 90s, and the likes of matches against Flair and Muta and people like that. But, of course, he was probably more of a character in the late 90s. And even some of his TNA work was very, very good. So it makes you wonder, just Sting, where was his best period, or is he just such a good wrestler that he's just so, he had such a good longevity that he never really went off the boil, did he? He was always a very strong member of everything. Even when he moved to WWE, he was fighting against the likes of Seth Rollins and Triple H. I'm still annoyed with that Triple H situation. If they had just given Sting to Taker, oh my god, and that first WrestleMania, the match that everybody wanted to see, but no, it had to be Triple H, didn't it? Should have been Sting versus Taker. It really should have been Sting versus Taker. There's the pin. One. Oh wow, one count. Sting kicking out. So here's one thing I've noticed in this year's game as well, is that finisher maneuvers do actually finish a match now, whereas last year, sometimes you had to hit them 4 or 5 times before you actually got the pin. So I quite like that, because it makes the matches feel a little bit more realistic. They end up being maybe a little bit shorter than what they were in 2K17, but that's not a problem, because if they do stay that way, then I don't mind continuing on doing 7-match cards. And things I don't mind doing 7-match cards if the matches quality is good, and there's less glitches as well. Which at the moment, the match quality has been quite good. I'm pleased with the first 2 matches. Don't get me wrong, they weren't outstanding matches, but they were very strong matches. Matches that I could quite happily continue recording. Sting now, taking Macho Man Randy Savage up into a tombstone pile driver. And now Sting lining up Savage. This could be a very quick match here. If Sting can hit the Scorpion Death Drop, which he locks in, there it is, the Scorpion Death Drop, this could be all. This could be victory for Sting. He has to drag Savage away from the ropes. That might give Savage the extra couple of seconds he needed to recuperate. 1, 2, it is. Those 2 seconds that Sting took to pull Savage away from the ropes was the 2 seconds that Savage needed to pull himself out of the bag. And Sting now just levering the punches down as we get a nice little shot there between the referee's legs. That really goes a bit further on for the from the TNA hat cam, doesn't it? As now Savage up top. Oh, in for the knee drop. I thought he might be going for the elbow drop. Savage just picking Sting up. Oh, nice. Just slamming him into the turnbuckle before throwing him down to the ground. Sting now arm breaker on Savage. Will that affect his... I can't imagine that's going to affect his elbow drop, to be honest, but you never know, it might do. Sting fighting his way out the corner. Short, sharp DDT. Slamming Sting face first. Only a 1, though. Only a freaking 1. Sting gets caught there with a right hand in the gut by Savage. Now Savage taking Sting up. Looking for the pile driver. 1, 2. Only a 2. Savage now heads up top. And here he goes. The big elbow drop right to the heart of Sting. There's the pin. 1, 2. And no, Sting kicked out as well. Wow. Heightened drama it is. Savage up top once again. What's he got planned this time? Decides against it, whatever it was. Suplex there by Randy Savage. Sting taking Savage down. This is a very good back and forth match. This is the first time I've really seen a match pan out like this on 2K18. Both guys kicking out of each other's finishes. Is that going to make it a better ranking, you think, as well? Because it's going to have a bit more match drama to it. There's the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Never seen this referee before. I like the way they've got different referees on this year's game. I've noticed that. Savage once again taking Sting up. Pile driver once. Oh my god. Savage's pile driver is basically savage, is the best way of putting it. He really drops. He doesn't go at an angle like some people do. He goes directly down and spikes your body. And Sting just springs off his own neck. There's the atomic drop and into another atomic drop there by Sting. Savage there just clutching his grapefruits, making sure they're still there. And Sting now just taking a second to recuperate. Planning his next source of attack. As Savage slowly gets back up to his feet. Sting catches him straight away for the Tombstone Piledriver. Sting just staring down at Savage now, and you can almost feel like an air of respect being earned by these two guys throughout this match. Really earning respect for each other. There's the Scorpion Death Drop, the second of the match, but again, Sting's got the same problem here. He's going to have to pull Savage away from the ropes, but is Savage going to have enough time here to recuperate once again? There's the pin by Sting. 1, 2, and 3. And no, it's not enough time, and Sting does pick up the victory over Savage, which is pretty good for him because that means it's actually a 10-point swing between these two now. So it means that Savage is going to drop down to 125, while Sting moves up to 150. So that's going to put a 20 ranking point gap between these two guys now, which is definitely a very healthy level for Sting. He'll be happy with that. And that's got to force him into the main event picture as well. Bearing in mind the rankings of some of the guys that were in that Fatal 4-Way earlier on, Sting must feel like he deserves an opportunity pretty soon. Nice German suplex that was by Savage. And Sting is victorious. And let's see what ranking this got, because Like I said, this might have got a bit more solely because of people kicking out of finisher maneuvers and so forth. You'd think so, anyway, wouldn't you? Let's have a gander. 4 stars. Amazing. Heightened drama, 2,000 points. So kick it out of finishers, I suppose. Signature touch, 1,000. Back and forth, 600. There we go then. That's the best match I've had so far. A 4-starer for PJ Tovey with Sting versus Savage. And just to remind you all, of course, we are going to continue doing the best match playlist. So if you do see any matches that you believe deserve to make it into that best match playlist, then do let me know. And of course, we'll put them in there as individual matches for you to relive if you're bored and you want something to do, basically. And here we go then, here's our next match of the evening. It is the women's #1 contendership match. We've got AJ Lee, we've got Asuka, and we've got Ember Moon. And AJ Lee is one of our first real examples of when I said we've got a few dodgy cores knocking around. She looks okay. She looks a little bit out there, but she looks okay. But of course, I don't think anyone's going to be getting past the Empress of Tomorrow, are they, really? Here she comes. Asuka. The 2-time former Mayhem Women's Champion, I believe. I must admit, I'm sure I've updated it all now. It should all be updated. Everything should be updated. The rosters and everything should be on the blogger. So if you need to check that out, of course, you can go back and do that. All the bloggers should be updated with all the brands of all the different championship histories and, of course, the rankings for each brand, along with tag team and female rankings as well. Of course, we have brought the ranking points forward from the previous universe mode. So Sasha Banks is, of course, the champion on 165 points. Then you've got Asuka on 145 points. And then you've got Ember Moon, brand new on the game, on 100 points. And you've got AJ Lee down on 85. So PJ Tovey's really gone for a little idea here. He's gone for basically someone who dominated Season 2. Somebody who wasn't in Season 2. And somebody who had a poor time on Season 2. Giving them all the opportunity to, again, like I said earlier on, it's a fresh start. You still have the same ranking points. However, the actual momentum is fresh. If you can start things off well on 2K18, if somebody wins here and wins the championship, all of a sudden they've gone from a nobody to a high-rated person who not only is going to do well here with the championship straight away, but when you win the belt, you pick up quite a nice few ranking points, which will last you for quite some time as well. And here is AJ Lee. Yeah, looking a little bit ropey, isn't she, bless her? She's seen better times, isn't she? It's not terrible. Like I said, it's not terrible, but still, when a new one comes along, I will obviously get a better version. I think it's just that the face scan sometimes looks a little bit too fake, doesn't it? And this is one of those ones where you can see the face scan looks a bit fake. The attire's spot on. There maybe should have been a better entrance. Not quite sure if they got rid of her entrance of last year's game. But the attire should be... the attire's pretty good. Not quite sure her body shape's right, but I don't know. Might be a little bit harsh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a little bit harsh. So here we go then. Women's triple threat action. Oh no, I forgot about Ember Moon. I apologise. I knew there was someone missing. It's Ember. I can't remember what it is. Ember starts a fire. Every ember starts a fire. It's like that. Well, you can probably hear it, can't you? I can't hear it. I got my TV on mute, so there's no interference on the microphone. But Ember, I'm looking forward to seeing Ember's finisher maneuver. That'd be pretty cool. Because it is a pretty cool finisher maneuver. That's a pretty cool entrance, actually, isn't it? Make sure that's in the old intro to the video. I'm sure it will be. I'm happy to have the game. I don't know why she wasn't on last year's game. She debuted early enough, I think, and they just didn't... 2K have never been ones for taking the women into account, have they? And it's going to be, again, I know it sounds stupid, but next year's game is going to be amazing, isn't it? 2K19, can you imagine it? 2K19 is going to have Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler, of course, all of the Undefeated era. But then again, who's going to be off that game? That's going to be the big problem in 2K19. Is how many people would have left by then, because it looks like there's a bit of an exodus going on at the moment. Since Neville's walked out, a lot of people have realised, you know what, I am being treated like crap. And I'm hoping this is not the end of the path for Neville. I'm hoping there might be some way for him to come back in and have a discussion with WWE and say, look, this is the reason why I'm unhappy. And this is just if it is true. There could be absolutely nothing behind this whole Neville situation. It could literally just be speculation done by the media, but at the same time, it just... I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? If all these rumours were out there and they weren't true, somebody would have come out by now and somebody would have said something, you would imagine, wouldn't you? Something would have been said, but there you go. I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Like I said. Now, I am hoping myself, and this is not me being favoritist. I don't know. This is not me showing favoritism. That's probably a better way of doing it. But I probably would prefer to see either Ember Moon or Asuka win this one, just because, like I said, the AJ Lee core isn't fantastic as of yet. So I would rather have somebody who looks pretty good on the in that match against, obviously, Sasha Banks at our first pay-per-view this week. But if it is AJ Lee, I'm not going to moan. Well, AJ's just got Ember Moon by the neck and just chokeslammed her down. Asuka taking AJ Lee down. Now, Asuka, I believe, is incredible at the moment in this game because of the power rankings. Now, what I've done, because of the power rankings, right, and how it works, and it does give people who are really working well in the rankings do get a massive boost. So what I've done is I've actually put all the universes into separate universe modes. So it means that every brand is going to have its own power rankings. Now, I'm not showing them yet because at the moment they're not quite right because they have a lot of people in who are not currently wrestling for any shows. So I'm hoping after a few shows, those power rankings will develop with the people that are actually wrestling with them. Nice running bulldog there by AJ Lee, and AJ catching Ember Moon with the right hand, and now all three ladies are outside the ring. Not really going to help anyone because, like I said... well, I haven't said it yet, but pinfalls and submissions only take place inside the ring, of course. Triple threat, so no disqualification. Pinfalls and submissions must take place inside the ring. There's the pin by AJ Lee on Ember Moon. 1, 2, only a 2 count, but there wasn't much in it there. Ember did struggle to kick out. Well, not struggle to kick out as such, but maybe not a lot behind it. Ember Moon now catching Asuka in the gut. Nice springboard clothesline, but AJ Lee avoided it. I like Ember, actually. I'm a bit disappointed how I didn't get Ember Moon in this year's game. But I did have my... I had my people that I really wanted. I wanted Toni Storm, I wanted Alexa Bliss. And I got who I wanted, I suppose. All the women's divisions are a lot stronger this year, though, aren't they? Because of basically just having a lot more women in there. With the introduction of the Mae Young Classic women, it's really helped us out, I think. Now, I think PJW's only got Candice LeRae. Asuka's got the Asuka lock locked in here on Ember Moon. Is she going to tap? No, she's not. She's going to break free, though. That was a great chance of AJ Lee down the outside. That was a great chance for Asuka to win this one. Ember sending Asuka into the corner. Asuka fighting her back, and Asuka once again dropping her body weight on that knee. AJ Lee, great kick, taking Asuka down. Well, AJ Lee could do this, you know. I said I'd like anyone but AJ Lee to win this one, but there's the Shining Wizard. Asuka's down. AJ dragging Asuka away from the ropes. Ember Moon's down on the outside. There's the pin. 1, 2. No, Asuka kicked out. Maybe again it was just a little bit too late. That pulling away from the ropes has just made that big difference. And you know, we did last year. We got rid of rope breaks because of that very reason. It just annoyed me with them dragging people away from the ropes, and that might be something we do again this year. I didn't really want to because of the whole thing with submissions as well. But I feel like we might have to, as AJ Lee went for the frog splash and completely missed there on Ember Moon. AJ Lee's back up, and Ember gets caught out by AJ though again. But Ember taking AJ Lee down. Oh, see, Asuka there crawled on top of AJ Lee, went for the pin. I didn't even notice that, but luckily Ember did, and Ember broke it up. Asuka with Ember Moon up on her shoulders. Drops her throat first across that top rope. In for the pin once again by Asuka. Referee slow down, but only for a 1 count as well. Asuka bringing Ember back up to her feet. And locking in an armbar. AJ's coming back into the ring, but it's too late. And Asuka gets the tap out by Ember Moon. And Asuka is going to get herself the ranking points and push herself on towards Sasha Banks at the pay-per-view. And you know what, Sasha? I'm worried for you. I really am. Nothing against Sasha Banks. She's a fantastic wrestler, but I'm worried for you. I really am. Asuka's coming for you, and Asuka is someone who's currently in the power rankings, and just proving it here. She tapped out of that, not tapped out. She kicked out of that, and yeah, just that drag away from the ropes. Yeah, I think I might have to change that. I might have to put rope breaks back off just to make the games a little bit more fluid, because that pulling away from the ropes is just, it's causing a few issues here and there, and I don't like it. The main one for me would be people like Sasha Banks with her bank statement. The rope break always affects her quite well because of the roll towards the ropes. It can often end up at a rope break, but we'll have to have a look at that as we go forward. There we go, Asuka victorious. She's going on to the pay-per-view to fight out for the Mayhem Women's Championship. Only a 2.5-star match, that one, though. So our lowest rating of the evening. And here is our next match of the evening. An important match, a really important match for Goldberg. He's currently one of the lowest rated guys on the Mayhem roster. Taking on one of the highest rated guys on the Mayhem roster, of course, Roman Reigns. This one's make or break. Where are we at the moment then? Roman Reigns is currently on 200 ranking points. Wow, 200. Whereas Goldberg is currently on 80. So there's nobody lower than Goldberg at the moment, is there? No. Goldberg is joint lowest alongside Bradshaw. Should Goldberg win this one, he'll get himself 5 points. He'll go up and join Larry Zbyszko and Jim Neidhart and Brutus Beefcake, Greg Valentine, Psycho Sid, Randy Orton, all on 85. So it's still not a great place to be, but it's a start, and that's what he needs. Goldberg needs to push himself on and start things better off. Now, of course, Roman was in 2K17, the leader of the Roman Empire. The stable we had on Throwdown. The stable has been disbanded during the draft. Samoa Joe heading over to Adrenaline. Tama Tonga and Tangaloa staying on Throwdown because, of course, they are the tag team champions. And PJ Toby picked Roman Reigns for Mayhem, which was a bit of a surprise for me. I must admit, I thought I had a bit more time. I would have picked him at some point. I don't know, because I did what I wanted to do with him last year on 2K17 with Throwdown, the Roman Empire and the heel Roman, and it's sort of worked. The problem is it's just so difficult to create your own stories on this game. And I don't quite know the best way forward. I might try and run a feud on one of the brands, but maybe not until we've had a bit of a chance to do our first pay-per-view. Maybe I'll do it on Octane, maybe. Just run one feud, see how it works. If we'd like it, then we can try and do it with the others. But the problem is the feuds just take up quite a lot of TV time, and we have quite big rosters that all want to get a bit of TV time themselves. So, yeah, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. So, Roman Reigns in the ring. The least charismatic wrestler in the world. Missed out on TLC last weekend, didn't he? Actually, that's a bit of an odd one. Not quite sure what was wrong with him, to be honest, but quite a lot of people. I believe I read somewhere that the WWE, a lot of the WWE wrestlers were being tested for measles. So maybe there's a measles thing knocking around backstage, which is what has got a lot of people ill. Which means Maurice should definitely stay away, because her being pregnant, measles can be quite dangerous to pregnant people, I believe. Well, not to the pregnant person, but the baby inside the pregnant person, you know. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one how, because of course you've currently got Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt, so probably, whatever that is contagious, because the fact that two brothers have got it, they probably spend a bit more time together than others, so they've probably both got it. Of course, Roman Reigns is out now as well. Nia Jax has disappeared off home, but that apparently is more to do with... Well, some people are saying she's walked out. Alexa Bliss is saying she's having a bit of trouble with the difficult schedule and so forth, so she's just having a little bit of time off to recuperate. But who knows? Who knows at this point in time? But all I know is that Goldberg needs a victory here. If Goldberg loses here, he will go solely by himself. Oh, no, hang on a minute. No, Goldberg is not the bottom of the rankings, is he? No, I forgot about this. I'm looking at the rankings right now, but the rankings have Goldberg and Bradshaw both on 80 points. But of course, Bradshaw lost earlier this evening, so Bradshaw's on 75 points, whereas Goldberg's on 80. So Goldberg is one from bottom of the rankings at the moment. But if he loses here, he will go back to joint bottom. It's a massive match. And Roman Reigns probably needs a strong start as well, because he wants to continue off the dominant run he had on 2K17 with the Throwdown roster. Like I said, becoming the Throwdown champion at some point as well. Of course, he defeated Zack Sabre Jr. in a steel cage. That was my way of stopping the rest of the Roman Empire from interfering in the match, putting it in a steel cage. And Roman Reigns was still able to walk away with the championship, so proving that he really deserved the belt. Now, my TV's about to turn off because I've not pressed the buttons for a while. There we go. Roman Reigns absolutely destroying Goldberg here to start things off. Absolutely destroying him. That's not good, is it? And again, still. What is wrong with Goldberg? What is wrong with Goldberg? Oh, no, he's back in control. But can he continue it on? There we go. Super four-way slam. Here we go. Now Goldberg does have a chance to turn things around. And he needs to. Like I said, this is just such a big, big thing. And I'm sure PJ wants this as well. He wants an effective Goldberg. And a strong win here against Roman Reigns to start things off would really help him out. Of course, fresh momentum. Everyone's fresh to start off with. And Goldberg has a real chance here to put a few wins together, build his momentum up, and go back to the Goldberg we saw in WCW, where he would destroy everyone apart from William Regal. Because William Regal would not let himself be destroyed. William Regal, what a legend. What a legend. Of course, William Regal is on my Octane roster, which has come up in a couple of days' time. Although I don't believe we have a William Regal core as of yet. Well, there is still a couple of days' time till that video is uploaded, so you never know. Regal might make an appearance. Goldberg is going for some power bombs of his own now. Wow. Wow. And Goldberg already lining up Roman Reigns. Goldberg, big spear. Oh, maybe not. I was about to say he was going to go for the pin, but nope. Goldberg taking Roman Reigns up. He's not happy with just a spear. He's gone for the jackhammer as well. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Wow. Goldberg, after a tricky start. A tricky start. Has just basically squashed Roman Reigns, isn't he, really? Reigns dominated the beginning of the match, but Goldberg really had it in his locker. And that's a really good start for Goldberg. He needed, like I said, he needed that momentum to build up. And that's exactly what he got. There's the big spear. Just when I thought he might go for the pin, he decided that a pin was not quite enough, and he wanted that jackhammer as well. And there it was. Boom. Well positioned for the 1, the 2, and the 3 count. So Goldberg victorious here over Roman Reigns. I'm sure PJ Toby sat at home rubbing his hands together, very, very happy about that, because he might have just got himself a superstar in the making here if Goldberg can continue pitting a few victories together and building these building these ranking points up. Then he is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in his main event picture and really cause a bit of trouble to the Mayhem champion. Let's see what ranking this is against, because it's pretty what a great match. It was a bit of a squash. It was still a 3-star match. There's a 308 memorable moments and some heightened drama. Not quite sure where that came from, but we'll take it. It was better than the women's match, apparently. Right, here is our next match of the evening. It is going to be Chris Jericho, your current television champion, taking on Owen Hart. Now, there is a reason behind this match. And basically the reason is that PJ Toby has already made a television championship match for our pay-per-view. And it is going to be Chris Jericho defending that television championship against Bret the Hitman Hart in a submission match. So tonight is a chance for Jericho to start off things off strong, get his momentum flowing. But it's also a chance for Owen Hart to really cut Jericho's momentum short. And this is your first chance to have a look at the television championship, isn't it, as well? This could also be a chance then for Owen Hart to cut Jericho's momentum short. This is a big one for Owen Hart because he's currently... Where is he? He's on 91 ranking points. Now, of course, if he defeats the television champion, the upper mid-card champion, he'll get 25 points on top of his 5 for winning. So he'll move from 91 up to 121. So this is a massive match for Owen Hart. Chris Jericho currently up on 180 points. But of course, if he loses his belt, he loses 50 points, I believe it is. That's what I said before, isn't it? Lose a championship, lose 50 points. Win a championship, gain 50 points. Simple as. So while you're the champion, you're rated much higher. So this will be interesting, this one. And of course, Owen Hart is going to be accompanied by Jim Neidhart and Bret the Hitman Hart here at ringside this evening. Of course, Bret Hart doing his, in inverted commas, scouting for the pay-per-view. But will he get involved and try and help his brother get the victory here this evening? That is yet to be seen. And here we are then, Neidhart leading the group forward here. That's interesting. Would have thought it'd be Bret really, wouldn't you? But there you go. Why, this doesn't mean anything, but why is the skull different in the logo of Bret and Jim Neidhart? Even though they're both on the game, these are not cores. They're both on the game, so I can't understand why they've both got different patterns on. I don't. It's just different skull. It's not major different, is it? Like, but I don't know. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to create the entrance of the trios for these, haven't I? So we've got a dodgy entrance with the dodgy music, haven't we? So trio Hart Foundation entrance. Like I said, there are going to be little bits and bobs that I've forgotten to do here and there, but I'll get them fixed for next episode. Don't you worry about that. So Owen Hart looking ready here. Good old Jim Neidhart. It's still bizarre when you think of some of the people that are on the game and some of the people that are not. Like, no offense against Jim Neidhart. I like having Jim Neidhart on the game. I really do. But at the same time, why have we got Jim Neidhart on the game and not Arn Anderson? It bamboozled me why Arn Anderson was taken off the game. It really does. It's like Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman. What have they done to be taken off the game? Because for me, they're probably two of the most used cores, two of the most used legends, I would say, for a lot of people. And here we go. Then we're underway. And again, like I said, the Owen Hart might not be fantastic face-wise, but as time goes on, we will get a better Owen Hart. But this is just basically a placeholder for now. Owen sending Jericho off the ropes and brings him back into a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Lovely move. Now, of course, after this one, all we have left for you is the main event of the evening. The 6-man tag match between Razor Ramon, Diesel and Triple H taking on the team of Ric Flair, Tully, Blanchard and Arn Anderson. We do have a Barry Windham, but I'm not too keen on him. So at the moment, we're going to use those 3 guys. And just a little bit of not necessarily a spoiler, but a bit of hype to build up. Our first pay-per-view coming for you next week for Mayhem will have the Brainbusters, Tully, Blanchard and Arn Anderson taking on the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. That's the match everyone wants to see. And that is the match you shall see. And hopefully it'll be a good one. Also got another 6-man tag on the pay-per-view as well, involving a formation of a new stable on Mayhem. Oh my word, I've just seen I don't want to spoil this next pay-per-view for you as well, but it's not spoil. It's not results, obviously. We know it's going to be Jericho versus Bret Hart. We know it's Legion of Doom versus Harlem Heat. We know it's Sasha Banks versus Asuka. We know it's Austin versus The Rock. And we've also got, like I said, Brainbusters versus Revival. We have got Demon Finn Balor making his Mayhem debut for Season 3 anyway. He was on Mayhem last year anyway, wasn't he? Making his Mayhem Season 3 debut. Taking on somebody making their Mayhem debut in general. The Great Muta. That'll be a match and a half, that will. And then, of course, like I said, there's going to be a 6-man tag there. And that'll be our first chance of seeing the new Hydra variation of the stable. We're going to see Liger, Ultimo Dragon, and Vader taking on a new stable that PJ Toby's put together. It's a real stable. Don't get me wrong, it's a real stable, so don't worry about that. And I think you're going to enjoy it. Nice elbow drop there in the heart by Chris Jericho, now bringing Owen Hart back up to his feet. Into a backbreaker. And so far, Neidhart and Bret Hart not really having much of an effect on the match. Maybe just mental for Chris Jericho now, who seems to have decided that he can't figure out what to do with Owen Hart. So he just stood there holding him. Not the best thing to do, really, was it? Jericho fighting back now, and Owen Hart taking Jericho down. Owen Hart went for Jericho, but Jericho fighting him through. Good collegiate wrestling style avoidance there. Taking Owen to the ground, but Owen just gets straight back up and gets some more offense in with that scoop slam. Now, of course, like I said, massive match here for Owen Hart. This is worth 30 points to him. And could also force his way into the television championship picture should Jericho beat Bret Hart at the pay-per-view. But you'd have to say that Owen, if he did get the win here, would be a shoo-in for an opportunity, but that could be a shoulda, woulda, coulda, as Jericho rolls Owen over for the walls of Jericho, and Owen crawling towards the ropes, but he is able to break free, actually, using his leg strength to break free. Oh, there you go. Now Bret Hart is up on the apron, distracting the referee, and that's allowed Owen Hart to get control back in the match. And like I said, it's more of a mental thing. Although Bret not really interacting so much with Jericho, but by just being there, it just distracts Jericho. Now Owen Hart taking Jericho up, looking for the tombstone pile driver, and hits it. Jericho fighting back, and there's the uppercut on Owen Hart. Jericho sending Owen against the ropes. Whoa! Launched him up into a code breaker. And again, though, Bret Hart just distracting Chris Jericho. Jericho, man, you just hit your finisher on Owen Hart. Go for the pin. This might be enough, you know, to allow... Yeah. Jericho just taking the mick out of Bret Hart there, but Jericho not able to take advantage and go for the pin after that launched up code breaker. Owen getting forced away now by Jericho. Went for the kick in the back of Owen, who rolled out the way. Now Owen Hart taking Jericho up into a backdrop. There's the pin. 1, 2. No, only 1 count. Wow. Owen not taking any crap here, is he? Drop kicking inside the head of Chris Jericho. As Owen Hart makes way up to the middle rope. Dropping the double knees and double elbows right to the gut of Chris Jericho as well now. Boot in the back. Owen bringing Jericho up. There's the uppercut by Jericho. Now taking Owen up into a vertical suplex. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly Del Boy. Now can Jericho finish Owen Hart off here? Oh, it must be struggling after that code breaker earlier on. And the Lion Salt. Could that be the camel that broke the horse's back? What? The straw that broke the camel's back. That's the word I'm looking for. Bret once again up on the apron, distracting the referee. There's a code breaker by Jericho. Perfectly timed. Referee turns straight around. 1, 2. And whoa. Wow. That's the second code breaker of the match, and Owen Hart kicked out of it. Oh, wow, I'm stunned by that. Maybe Owen is showing some real forcefulness here. This is a massive win if Owen could pull it off. There's the tombstone by Owen on Jericho. Owen dragging Jericho away from the corner. That natural selection style cutter lands him right near the feet of Jericho. I thought he might have gone there for the sharpshooter, but no, bringing Jericho back up to his feet, and Jericho catching Owen out. Nice backbreaker there by Owen as well. And now here comes Owen. Stalking Jericho. He's very close to the ropes here though for this sharpshooter. Owen rolled him slightly away from the ropes, and Jericho's got to think about this now. He doesn't want to lose this match. He doesn't want to lose momentum, but at the same time, he doesn't want to stay in this for too long and take an injury into the pay-per-view, and he does tap out, and Owen Hart gets the win. And Owen Hart has just got himself a butt ton of points there. He's just overtaken his brother as well, I think, hasn't he? Yeah. Bret's on 101 points. Owen Hart now up to 121 because he's got a victory, which is 5 points. And he's also beaten the upper mid-card champion, which is plus 25. Which means that Owen Hart is going from 91 all the way up to 121 here this evening. And Jericho's dropping from 180 down to 175. So Owen has just gone from lower mid-card obscurity to upper mid-card. And as you can see, all of the Hart Foundation incredibly happy with that victory. And if the same thing happens at the pay-per-view next week, then we can see a brand new television champion in the form of the Hitman, Bret Hart. What a win. And is that going to get a good rank in that one as well? Because it was a kick out of a finisher maneuver. That Owen doesn't look rough, doesn't it? So only a 3.5 star. Okay. I thought we might have got better for that, but only a 3.5 star apparently. Oh well. Main event time. And here we go, the main event time. As you can see that on the left, we have the Click, Diesel, Razor Ramon and Triple H taking on 3 members of the Horsemen, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and of course Ric Flair. Woo! We're going for it. I don't know what that strange noise is when you click on the to carry on. It's weird. I don't know what it is. So here we go then. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. I'm liking it. The Click, of course, alongside Shawn Michaels as a foursome normally, but here tonight, it's just the 3 of them. Just the 3 of them. They can make it if they try. I can't sing. Not allowed. Not allowed. YouTube rules and that sort of stuff. So, I'm looking forward to this. We've ever since me and PJ thought about the Horsemen, we sort of backed into it and backed out of it and so forth, thinking it was a bit too retro. But then we thought, you know what, we've got the space, and I really want to do it. I really want to utilise some of the top things. And for me, the 4 Horsemen are probably one of the most legendary stables in wrestling. It's one that people always talk about, and it is one of the reasons why, of course, they are in the Hall of Fame. I've not done their trios entrance either, have they? I haven't done anyone's entrances. Okay, I apologise, I'll get this fixed, I will. So we've gone for classic Arn Anderson, classic, of course, Tully Blanchard. Did Arn used to wear a coat as well? Peter Toby, if you're watching, you can tell me that. Go on, give me a ring now, I'm sure you're waiting. And let me know. Because Arn is just coatless compared to everyone else having a coat on. Whether that's right or not, I've got no idea. And of course, like I said, we will have Barry Windham as part of this stable as well. But at the moment, we can't find a very good core for him. I'm hoping somebody's going to make one. There's a guy I've been looking at, a guy who made both this Arn Anderson and this Tully Blanchard that I'm keeping an eye on. Hopefully, he will make a really good version of Barry Windham as well. But I can't promise anything. Good old Horseman, eh? Now these two guys, of course Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, could really be a force to be reckoned with this year. The Brainbusters are a really strong tag team, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see them hold the belts at some point. But then again, you've got the Clicker, you've got the Outsiders, Kevin Nash, or Diesel if you will, and Razor Ramon. We're going to start things off with Blanchard in the ring with Razor Ramon. Now this, of course, is first pinfall wins. And I'm a little bit dubious because this type of match did not work in 2K16, 2K17 very well, or 2K16 to be honest. So I'm hoping this year it is a usable match because we've got a lot of stables in this universe mode and I really want to be able to utilise some of them in matches like this. It'll be a really good way of getting more people on the card. Because normally we'd have maybe a tag team match or a singles match as our main event. And by having this, we've got 6 people in our main event. Which means that 6 people are going to get 3 people are going to get 10 points. And 3 people are going to get minus 10 points. And one of these tag teams is going to get plus 20 points. And the other tag team is going to get minus 20 points. It's a big match for both these teams, really. It's a real strong start to the universe. I like the way that all the members of... I don't know why I'm going to say this, but all the members of Horsemen are wearing different coloured trunks. I know that makes no sense or any difference or whatsoever, but I don't know why. I just like it. They're all like different Power Rangers. Got Arn the Red Ranger, Ric Flair the Purple Ranger, Tully's the Black Ranger. I'm gonna shut up now. Oh, Razor with a slap in the face of Arn Anderson. Not sure that's a wise move there by Razor Ramon, but it seems to have been okay for now. And bringing in Triple H now. Nice drop toe hold into the elbow drop. It's amazing when you think about it as well, really, isn't it? You had this stable of the Clique, and you had 2 members, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, stayed and formed DX, and 2 members, Razor Ramon and Diesel, left to go to WCW and form the NWO. So technically, these 4 guys in the Clique sort of were the whole Monday Night Wars, weren't they? DX versus the NWO. That was the basis of 2 of the shows, really, wasn't it? I know Austin was a large part of the WWE side, of course. And Clique is in control at this point in time, aren't they? Triple H taking Arn up into that pile driver. And again, Triple H doing a good job of... Oh, Arn's back up. Triple H doing a good job of standing in between Arn and his tag team partners, but didn't last for too long, did it? And now you see Arn just dragging Triple H to his corner. And I like that new dynamic, I really do. They're a bit more intelligent when it comes to tag team matches now. Dragging people towards your corner, stopping them from making the tag, being in between the tag team partner and their corner. Sorry, being in between your opponent and their tag team corner. It's just, it's such a clever way they've done this game. Flair now, that claw on the shoulder of Triple H. Can he do enough damage? But no, Triple H is back up and just whisking away the legs of Ric Flair. And of course, if Hunter can do the damage to the legs of Ric Flair, that could reduce the pressure he can put on with a figure 4 leg lock. And Flair's another one we're going to have to watch out for here for the championship. Because Flair could be a massive shout for the championship, really, couldn't it? Ric Flair now taking Razor Ramon over, dropping him a boot in the chest as well. Ric Flair, took Razor up for the scoop slam, but Razor fought free and just wipes Flair out with that big right hand. And Flair here now dropping the knees right into the side of the knee of Razor Ramon. Flair now bringing Ramon back up to his feet. You know what, watching this match makes me really envious of PJ Toby that he got the Horseman. I would love to have had the Horseman this year, you know. The first time I've used them, even though Flair's just walking into the ropes there, the first time I've actually used the whole Horseman together. Of course, last year we had like a New Age Horseman, didn't we? With Flair, Anderson, and the Revival. And here we are now with the Revival fighting against the 4 Horsemen at the pay-per-view. That's Snake Eyes there by Ric Flair on Razor Ramon. Flair bringing Ramon back up to his feet. Into the far corner he goes. As Razor taking Ric Flair down. And of course this is not just about the tag team. Like I said, the singles is big here. Flair currently on 90 ranking points. Arn Anderson's on 95. Tully Blanchard making his debut, of course, is on 100. Triple H is on 100 as well. Razor Ramon's on 93. And Diesel is on 108. So Diesel's the only person on a decent amount of ranking points, I suppose, if you look at it that way. And, of course, the winners of this one is going to get 10 ranking points each to their teams. That's massive. The losers are going to lose 10 ranking points each. That's even bigger, really. See both Diesel and Triple H desperate for the tag there from Razor Ramon, but Razor's down. Ric Flair's not allowing him any chance to get up. Razor with a jawbreaker. Razor needs to make a tag if he can. As he just drops Ric Flair in the shin breaker. And Razor now taunting his way over to his corner as Flair crawling towards... Oh, Flair does get there with a hot tag. I like that. I like the new tag system as well. Oh, but it didn't work very well, did it? Arn hit the button a little bit too early and completely missed his clothesline. Got caught with a backbreaker. And Flair drops the outside, of course, because he's tired. Arn fighting back. Arn gets caught, though, with the underhook. But no, Arn fighting back once again with the left hands right in the gut of... Right in the gut of Razor Ramon into the double-A spinebuster. Beautiful move. Got to appreciate a good spinebuster, haven't you? Arn now back rake. Arn is really showing Razor Ramon what's what since he came back in the ring. Nice suplex. Razor trying to crawl to his corner, but Arn has Razor Ramon into the DDT. It's middle of the ring. It's not a great position if Arn wants to go for the pin. Flair is back up on his feet now, so he might get a good break. There's the pin. Triple H does break it up. And Tully Blanchard's there straight away. And went for a butterfly there. And in comes Ric Flair as Triple H reversed the butterfly. On Triple H catching Flair while Flair was lining up potentially for something there. Referee unhappy with Triple H and sent him to the outside. And both men now inside the ring are down. Blanchard's down on the outside as well. Flair and Hall slowly getting back up. Flair's back up on his feet and Hall's trying to crawl to his corner, but Flair catches him. Flair's figure four might be the best bet for a win here, you know. Just because it's a bit quicker to get, you can get the win in less than 3 minutes. Less than 3 seconds, of course. Flair's going for this very, very close to the ropes, you know. But he's gone for it, and there it is, the figure four leg lock. On Razor Ramon, is he going to tap out? He does. Razor Ramon taps out and Ric Flair picks up the victory. And the Horsemen are victorious here in the main event. The 3 Horsemen, shall I say, not the 4 Horsemen. Yeah, good victory there for the Horsemen. I'm quite impressed with that. Quite impressed. Oh, nice big uppercut there as well. It's a bit disappointing that nobody came in to try and break up the submission / protect the submission, but still, it was effective. Arn Anderson looked very good here this evening as well. And there we go then. 3 members of the Horsemen picked up the victory. Which means that Arn Anderson now moves up to 105 points. And we're going to have Ric Flair back up to 100. And of course Tully Blanchard moves up to 110. But it means that Diesel drops down to 98. It means that Razor Ramon drops down to 83 points. And Triple H drops down to 90 points. And of course there's also a big match coming up for the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard at the pay-per-view as they take on the Revival. Another win there, and they could be straight inside that championship picture. Well, there we go, guys. That is the end of this match, the end of the show, the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then do hit the like button. Of course, you must have enjoyed it if you're this far, I suppose. And of course, if you want to see some more, then hit that subscribe button as well if you're not already. We've got a lot going on coming up for you. We're going to try and do a random match every other day and a Universe Mode video every other day as well. So if you want to keep on track of all that, then I would be very grateful. Of course, if you want to check out the rosters and the rankings and so forth, there is a link in the description below to the blogger pages, which will have you all the detail you could ever need. And of course, if there is anything you need that's not on there, then drop me down a question in the comment section. I do read them all, and I do reply to them all, even if it takes me a week or so. Sometimes I do reply to them all. Yeah, I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for our next episode of the SWE Universe Mode. Bye.
The one, two,